Hi, I'm Sophia Brisbane, and I'm making this video for Early Childhood Education 1105 Health, Safety, and Nutrition 40324. And today, February 2nd, 2025, I'll be discussing the importance of healthy sleeping habits in children with some help from the Mayo Clinic and National Library of Medicine. Healthy sleeping habits are an essential part of a healthy lifestyle for all ages, but it's especially important for children. This is because sleep directly affects children's growth, behavior, attitude, learning abilities, and overall health. But in order to determine whether or not children are getting the proper amount of sleep, we need to first know how much sleep they need. Well, according to the Mayo Clinic, it is suggested that newborns and infants sleep for about 12 to 17 hours, and toddlers ages 1 and 2 should get about 11 to 14 hours, while children ages 3 to 5 should get about 10 to 13 hours of sleep, and those 6 to 13 years old should get around 9 to 11 hours of sleep. But sadly, the National Library of Medicine reports that 20 to 40% of infants and school-aged children have poor sleeping habits due to difficulty falling asleep, staying asleep, or sleeping alone. Such poor habits can have negative consequences, especially for those in sensitive developmental stages such as 5 and 6 years old. These consequences include poor physical health that manifests in ways of obesity, high blood pressure, or weakened glucose metabolism. According to the National Library of Medicine, these issues occur because the lack of sleep can alter the levels of fat storage and appetite-regulating hormones, leptin and ghrelin, making a child more susceptible to overeating with a slow metabolism, thus increasing their risk for obesity. A child's cognitive development is also harmed when they experience poor sleeping habits. Their ability to retain information and pay attention are hindered by the lack of sleep. According to the National Library of Medicine, children who take naps during the day have faster reaction times, as well as those who experience a higher quality of sleep and can recall spoken and written words more efficiently, whereas children who have trouble sleeping often score lower on tests measuring their reading, writing, verbal, and performance skills. On the contrary, children who have healthy sleeping patterns are mentally, emotionally, and physically healthier. They are also less likely to show symptoms of behavioral disorders such as ODD and ADHD, or mental disorders such as depression and anxiety. The National Library of Medicine also reports that sleeping for longer with fewer disturbances is related to a more mature empathy pattern in young children. In addition, children who experience a sufficient amount of sleep are less susceptible to illnesses. This is because sleep allows our bodies to release cytokines, which help our immune system fight infections. With that said, according to the Mayo Clinic, we can tell when a child has experienced sleep deprivation by being accident prone, having a decrease in attention span or mental alertness, decreased motivation, expressing defiance or noncompliance, depression and anxiety, difficulty falling asleep, difficulty waking up, hyperactivity, silliness or giddiness, difficulty making decisions or solving problems, an increase in appetite or sugar cravings. They may be over-emotional and have poor concentration. All these signs can hinder a child's success in school, extracurriculars, and personal wellness. Therefore, it is important to prioritize cultivating healthy sleeping patterns in a child's life, starting in their infancy and well until their teenage years, to prevent the consequences of sleep deprivation. This can be done by making an effort to be home from work, extracurriculars, and other commitments before it gets too late in the night, as well as having dinner in the early evening so that nighttime can be dedicated to preparing for bed and the next day. Getting the proper amount of sleep can only happen if you go to bed at a reasonable time, and going to bed at a reasonable time can only happen if you give yourself time to go to bed. So prioritize getting a good night's rest. You and your child's well-being are worth it.